back with another episode of Vybology. And today is 9/11/2021. Yep, we are 20 years later. 2 decades! Damn! Wow. 2001 was something. My mother, may she rest in power, she went on to glory that year, along with her mother, my grandmother. So I celebrate my ancestors. I mourn for the loss of all those nearly 3,000 people that lost their lives in the Twin Towers. However, I would say that I always knew that I would be here in New York City one day. That was a dream of mine since I was a child. So dreaming leads to manifestations. You know, that's one of the vibes that I cling to. You know, the vibe of dreaming, what it means to think creatively into your future. Because eventually it ends up creating the reality that you want. Good or bad. You gonna get it, good or bad. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for my mother, my grandmother, all my ancestors that paved the way for me to be here today, and all those people that lost those lives, those precious lives back in 2001, 20 years ago. Wow. Cheers to the ancestors, huh? What am I drinking, you ask? Well, I am a Cabernet kind of gal. Big body, full body. This is a 2017 California Cabernet from a vintner called Magic Key. That's one thing about New York City that I love. I live in the Lower East Side, Manhattan. And all through the village here, not all through, I should say, there are some gems of liquor stores that have been here for years, and their wine selection, you can find bottles and vintages you could only dreamt that they were still available right here on Avenue B and 14th Street in the city. So we'll get into some wine a little bit later on Vybology, because it is one of my favorite pastimes to sip on a little Cabernet, which is my favorite. So we're going to talk about the vibes of New York and what is it going to look like going forward. There are words that I can't even say anymore on this here internet, on other folks' platforms. You know, I'm gonna have to get a Patreon so we can really get down and talk about some things, and that is coming, because I do have some words that I'd like to say that a lot of people might not agree with, but this is still America, right? My ancestors fought for me to be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say, regardless of your feelings. And guess what? You can say whatever the fuck you want to say, regardless of my feelings. Because at the end of the day, you know, feelings come from thoughts. And thoughts are derived from knowledge. And knowledge is gained by your willing to want to know. To want to seek it and instead of being spoon-fed. Spoon, I can't even speak. Might be the Cabernet. And also the greenery that I won't indulge in right now, maybe later. Those who know. But instead of being spoon-fed information, instead you seek knowledge. And then from that, you create your own platform, your own square to stand on. And then we can have a debate about things. Instead of you just regurgitating what you heard on the television or the internets that you may agree with, but did you do any research of your own? Do you have any knowledge about what you're talking about? Or are you just jumping on the train that everybody else is on? Right? That ain't gonna ever be me. The camera's shaking right now because it's a little bit windy, as you can see. So, the vibes in New York, I never thought it would get to this day where we seriously have a group thing going on. People lazy as fuck, and I saw it coming as a teacher. I saw it coming. I've been teaching since 2003. I'm not teaching in the schools anymore. I have my own online gig for parents who know and who understand and who want to subject their children to a wider variety of learning. And in my case, it's back learning, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, infused with the arts, and social and emotional learning infused with the arts. That's a whole nother story that I can get into, and I may just tag my website for parents out there who want, to give their kids some extracurricular learning to go with what their core curriculum or what they're learning, and just to help to create a well-rounded child in the society that we're living in today, coupled with great well-being for yourself, for your child, for the whole environment. That's a whole nother show. I can go on. Apathy. Go along to get along. Groupthink. Stone cold crazy is the vibes of New York City. I'm straight loner nowadays because the energy is so, god damn, I don't want to be harsh, and I do have a potty mouth. It's along the lines, first of all, I need to have compassion. And I do have compassion for what's going on, because on the one hand, just like I said, if you don't seek knowledge, you don't know. And you get caught up on the hamster wheel just trying to survive. I don't have children, but I've been a teacher, and I've worked with parents and children for the past 16, 17 years, so I know how difficult it is to run a household and care for your children and hopefully have some time for yourself. I think one of the hardest jobs is being a parent. Yeah. And second is being a teacher. Right? You spend a lot of time with your children. A lot. More than you. During the school year, that's a fact. Your teachers spend more time with your children. My teachers, what they're being faced with today, I think you should be able to be you and choose for yourself. Whether it's with keeping a child or the type of medical care that you want. I just think that we are capable of choosing for ourselves, period. And for those of us who felt the need to go along and partake in this new medical phenomenon with a word that I ain't even gonna say, right? That's your choice. And for those of you who did not partake and you want to choose some other method, that's your choice. My ancestors fought in many wars for all of us to have a choice. Including nurses and doctors and our firefighters and policemen. Everybody has a choice. And our beloved servicemen. I know your choices are limited because you have a phenomenal job to do. But I still think that there should be some choice in how and what we put in our bodies, how we take care of our bodies. I also think that there should be more education on how to be healthy and care for our bodies, right? There was many mornings I would talk to my high school students about what they're eating. Especially when I was teaching theater arts and having movement. And some of them couldn't even move because of the cream cheese and bacon bagel they just ate. They got their whole back blocked up and they can't even bend over. The lack of water, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty of being dehydrated. I think we all are. Water, meditation, self-care. And when I say self-care, that is mind, body, soul, environment. That means your surroundings. If your environment is cluttered and full of things, your mind is cluttered and full of things, right? Virgo season. It's the clearing. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.